Brothers and sisters, the Lord bless you. This is the 29th Sunday of Ordinary Time, the weekend of October 16th. The theme that the scriptures give to us is perseverance. Perseverance. Boy, it's easy sometimes to quit. Quit when we've got work that just seems to be overwhelming, family difficulties, challenges we have to do. Life can sometimes be difficult. And the spiritual life is the same, the need to persevere. So I'm just going to comment the scriptures for this Sunday and pray that the Lord gives you the strength of persevering. That's to say, sticking with it patiently, asking for God's help. The first reading comes to us from the book of Exodus. It's the story of Moses, and the Jewish people are in a kind of a struggle and a battle, and Moses is praying for the situation, praying for an end to the conflict and so on. And every time he puts his arms up, the battle seems to be going better and they're winning. And every time he drops his arms, the Jewish armies, the Hebrew armies start to lose. They go up. He becomes weary and tired, And so his two buddies start holding up his arms, and they put stones under his arms and help him to keep them up as intercessory prayer. Sometimes we need that. Buddies, friends of ours who just kind of say, look, don't quit. Get your arms up. Trust the Lord. Walk with that. It's so wonderful to have good friends who help us, because sometimes perseverance just really requires the encouragement, the support of my friend, of my husband, of my wife, of my children, just to keep me going, So Moses was every time he lifted up his arms, and his friends helped him to keep his arms up, the battles of life went well. Symbolically, of course, battles of life. In the psalm today it says, "From where shall come my help? My help shall come from the Lord who made heaven and earth." That's where the strength will come in our daily lives. And in today's weekend gospel, the Lord talks about perseverance and not quitting. He gives a funny little story about a woman who wants justice from the judge, and the judge says, "Get out of here, I'm busy." And the woman just kind of perseveres and finally the judge says, okay, I'll give you what you need, It's kind of a funny story. But Jesus says, that requires the need for perseverance and patience, as did this elderly widow in the story that Jesus tells. Perseverance and patience in the spiritual life, perseverance and patience in what we're doing. We all need that. Sometimes we need maybe some extra sleep. Maybe we need to go for a little walk. Maybe we need to see some good friends. But to find the strength to kind of persevere in doing good things, it's one of the great qualities of a Christian. It's quite similar to the virtue, the theological virtue of hope. Hope is, you might say, faith that perseveres and doesn't give up. I think of some of those folks in Ukraine, who are struggling so much, and even the Russians who are not really interested in this battle that is going on, who are persevering and trying to keep their hopes up as they try to bring justice in the situation there. And sometimes God can seem kind of far away, He can seem like he's indifferent to my concerns. No, he's not. He's your Father, and he's always there. And so persevere. So this week, maybe the challenge is, as the winter is beginning to unfold, we may be discouraged and saying, oh my gosh, it's so cold and the leaves are falling and It's trust the Lord. It's persevere and persevere in doing good, reaching out and bringing hope to others. Just a couple of little quickie things for me to mention to you. I noticed that since the COVID situation has ended, that there's about 30% less people coming to church these days. And in fact, I bumped into a few young families who said, you know what, Father, we don't come to church anymore. We've been away too long. We just don't feel moved to go anymore. But this is crucial for us as Catholics, that the Eucharist and getting together in fellowship is absolutely crucial. And I even think that the church has a prophetic role to remind people that we need each other. We need to encourage each other. And church is a key way to do that, to be together, to laugh together, to pray together, to worship together, especially to pray for the grace of perseverance. YouTube is very useful, but it's not quite the same thing as being together. You know, our youth were meeting last week from Ifata, and I said, do you prefer to meet people through the telephone and the internet, or do you prefer to meet people in person? And I was surprised by the response of our wonderful 16-year-olds. And they said, oh, we much prefer to meet people in person. Interesting. Wisdom from the youth. So just a reminder that church is still an obligation for us as Catholics, and I just encourage you to be there. We're doing something new this year, a couple of things that are new. At the end of this liturgical year, around, I think it's November the 19th, we'll be on that Saturday, beginning on Saturdays, an hour of prayer for peace in our society, and end to this aggression against nurses, doctors, politicians, police, you name it. We're always negative. And so we're going to take an hour on Saturday, starting that particular weekend, called the Wall of Mary, just asking people to pray for. One week we'll be praying for nurses. One week we'll be praying for the police. One way we'll, just we would be less negative as a culture. The other thing, on that same weekend, we're going to be having for the first time the King's Ball. What's that? Celebrate Christ the King. And what better way to do it? The winter's coming. It's getting colder. So we're going to have a dance together, a little bit of finger food, and just a good time to be together. And we really insist with our team that it be inexpensive. Because everything you want to do is expensive. This is going to be inexpensive. Just having fun for the sake of being together, laughing, dancing, sharing music, and friendship. Hope you join us. We're also looking for people to help out for that particular event, So if you like to help out setting up tables or being part of the greeting team or helping out in some fashion or other, please do contact us and our communications team and let us know. So it's a great week. And the message of this Sunday is perseverance, perseverance. I need that too, Sometimes I get a little discouraged and say, oh my goodness, just so much work. But it's wonderful work. Serving the Lord is a joy. Serving the Lord is a joy. So I wish you a very blessed and holy week, everybody. And may the perseverance of the Lord be the grace of this week for you. God bless you. Bye-bye.